Okay, so gravitas. What is it? Why is it useful? How do you get it? Because gravitas is one of the things that a lot of people come to me saying, I wish I had more, dot, dot, dot. And very often, as we said yesterday, groundedness is one of them, gravitas is the other. So what is gravitas? Gravitas is having weight. Why is it useful? Because it helps people know that either you are serious or to take you seriously. When we have gravitas, when we have a weightiness about us when we speak, then we have a solidity that really helps, much like groundedness, helps build trust and belief. So if you're speaking with more gravitas, it's normally because you want people to take you more seriously. Now, I would say that when you are communicating, there are some people whose voice just naturally has a lot of gravitas, has a lot of weight, has a lot of seriousness. You can think of someone like Stephen Fry, for example. The tone of his voice, it's quite low, it's quite there. You know he knows what he's talking about. And he's also a comedian, so he brings the shift with comedy, with his intelligence, and that helps let the gravitas have space, because actually, if you're in the space of gravitas the whole time, it then starts feeling a little too heavy and your audience start feeling weighed down. So this is something that's really useful, particularly if you are in a situation or a space or with a group of people where you feel like you're not taken seriously, or where you feel like, no, it's time that you are heard. And very often, and this may not be a popular thing I'm about to say, but I have noticed that in my time of working with vocal confidence, so whatever that it's been now, 11 years, more, it's mostly women. Some men want more gravitas, but it is mostly women who say, oh, I just wish I had more gravitas, because it feels very much in life, and these things are changing, but women, girls are brought up to be light, to be nice, to not be offensive, to not get in the way, to not assert themselves too much. And so women, girls are taught to have more of a lightness about them, which has its own benefits. However, one of the biggest challenges is that if we're here and we're light and everything is, it's like, oh no, that's lovely, then it doesn't have much weight. And if you want your words to carry weight, if you want people to know that you know what you're talking about, like my client who was a partner in a law firm, and she had a beautiful analogy for the board, who were mostly late middle-aged white men, and she called them the silverback gorillas. And she said, oh, I speak and I say something that I know is true, that I know if this doesn't happen, we're going to be coming back in 3 months' time because of the problems it's caused. She said, I'll speak and then they'll just ignore me. So we worked on her having more gravitas so that she could be heard, so that her point, which was valid and needed to be listened to, could be got across. So this is why having more gravitas is important, because it helps you to be heard, and it gives your words literally gravity, weight. Because the other definition of gravitas, or translation of gravitas, if my French serves me correctly, digging back into the realms of my brain, is grey or above, which means serious, to have weight and seriousness. So if you have more gravitas, there is that option that you will be taken more seriously, which is why you might want it. This is why the gravitas section is my midweek mindset, because I tried to do this in 90-second videos, but actually the topic itself carries quite a lot of weight. How do you get more gravitas? There are some really simple to slow down. There is no need to rush. If you know that your point is important and you want to be taken seriously, and you want your words to land and to have weight, you need to slow down. When we speak too quickly, it's hard for people to hear everything we say. So if you want your words to land, to have gravity, to have that weight, you need everything. Now, I don't mean slowing down, like not ridiculous, but allow yourself to. The next tip is to speak. Sorry, bear with me. My live stream just went a little bit wonky. So I'll go back. So tip 2. So tip 1 is slow down. Tip 2 is to allow yourself to speak. Sorry, that completely distracted me. So I'm just going to allow that to have distracted me and get my brain back, because that is important. So slow down and have a moment of awareness of what it is you want to say. That's really important. When you need gravitas, you need to be sure of what you're saying. One of the other tip elements is to lower your voice. So you speak slower and lower. Now, I don't mean if you happen to have quite a high voice, whether you're male or female, I don't mean speaking down here like you're Brian Blessed, because you're not. So don't push your voice, but just allow your voice to come into a lower resonant chamber for you. So you speak slower and lower. And I did have a third tip, but it has completely gone out of my head. So those are the 2 most important ones. It helps you allow the time and space to be heard. One of the most important things, I was at a networking event today, and I was chatting with a man who was asking about why it is that speaking is challenging and what it is that gets in the way. And one of the most important elements of finding more vocal confidence is giving yourself permission, allowing yourself to take up time and space in other people's worlds or lives. And with having more gravitas, this is really a thing. It's allowing yourself to take the time and to take up that person's space for that moment if the point is serious. So there we go. That is gravitas. What it is: more weight, more seriousness, why it's useful, so that you can be taken seriously, so that people will hear you and listen to you and less likely to question you. Actually, it's really important. If you're speaking up here, there's something about the level of lightness that people might go, well, really? Whereas if you're speaking with a little bit of gravitas and that little bit of weight, people go, oh, okay, right, I believe you. And obviously, how do you do it? Speak slower and lower. And my third tip, which I will put in the words because I know it'll come to me as soon as I stop going live. But this is a beautiful example, actually, of how you can have all elements. So you can be someone who is able to switch between gravitas and vulnerability. Like, just because you have vulnerability doesn't mean you don't have gravitas. Tomorrow, we will be looking at other elements. We will look at another further element of groundedness and gravitas, which is kind of a dreaded word, but something I want to touch on, which is authority. Because when you have more groundedness and gravitas, it actually then enables you to step into being an authority or having authority in a room, which is really useful if you are wanting to be seen and heard. Thank you so much. If you're like this, then let me know. And if you would like more of this, come and join me in Waterloo on the 29th and 30th of September. Or, of course, any of my other ways of getting in touch with me, either free or paid for. There's a whole ton out there. Check my website, yourwholevoice.com. But my 2-day flagship workshop at the end of September, that is an amazing first step to just transport you to a different way of thinking about speaking, feeling about yourself, and having more clarity, confidence, and if you want it, gravitas. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brief 90-second one. Bye.